children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Oh, welcome to your weekly fix of Final Guys, where we love it when you turn us on. I'm Hunter Shea, as always joined by three of the most amazing people I know. Master of Puppets, Jack Campese. Master! Baby Hotep, Chad Lutsky.
Good evening, folks.
Lithgow's crotch crapping, Jason Brandt.
Hello.
Let's go. Oh, let me tell you, my groin area hurt a couple of times during this movie because tonight's movie is the Shudder, I don't know if it's exclusive or whatever, but it's The Rule of Jenny Penn, the cocoon of horror movies, and it's long overdue.
Is anybody else calling it The Rule of Jenny Penny? I can't get that out of my head for some reason.
No.
Okay, that's just me then.
I did at one point say Penny Jen.
I kept saying Penny Lane.
Oh, good song. Maybe we could whistle it later. But tonight is very special. We're feeling very festive because it's somebody's birthday on this podcast right now. Mr. Crotch Grabbing himself, Jason Brandt. Another year older.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Old as shit.
Like for your age, your chronological age of your overall self, what's the age? Does your liver age 7 years for every year you're on Earth?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's decrepit.
His liver is in dog years.
His liver's a dried up raisin right now. Doesn't know what to do with that beer.
I mean, what's the scale? Like, if it's me and Dave, then I'm great.
You're all right.
You know what? I think Dave's indestructible. I think his liver probably is like a baby's liver.
I'm sure that's what it is.
He's like one of those. He's like my grandfather, who will come up later in this episode. But he's like my grandfather, 87 years old. Started drinking at 8, and didn't stop till he was 86.
He also had wet brain in his 40s?
Dude, he had wet brain in his probably his teens, but he formed a life.
What's his beer? Schlitz?
My grandfather's beer, he was not beer. He was whiskey. So he would drink a bottle of whiskey a day and smoke 4 packs of cool cigarettes.
You're talking to Hunter Shea and I. We're all about the old men beer. We love when we're together. We drink Schaefer. We grew up on Rheingold and Schmitz and Schlitz.
Yep. I buried my dad with a bottle of the can of Schaefer beer. So
I had a Schaefer with you to toast him.
Yeah, Jack, I just realized they don't make Schaefer anymore. Maybe we should dig them up just to get that can.
Oh, I'm in. They don't make it anymore? I know it's hard to find, but
no, it's gone. So sad.
Wow.
But I know where one can exists. He wouldn't mind. All right. So anyway, before we jump into all the usual madness, anyone have anything they want to, expound upon? Any good news?
Oh, you know what? I posted I don't post YouTube Shorts too often, but I posted one today that people might find interesting. It's a Mentos commercial, which I've done a few of now, but this one is just a training montage from this movie. The montage is about 2 minutes. I cut about 1.5 minutes of it out, but I didn't do fancy edits or anything. That's just how insane this movie is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my YouTube page and check it out.
It's really funny.
It's gross.
It had me laughing during a business Zoom meeting, and I was on camera. They were like,
Nice.
What the hell is going on with him? All right. What are the drinking words tonight?
Are they posted? I'm not seeing.
Uh-oh.
Did we not have Sheridan in here?
Someone kidnapped him.
I don't see the drinking words.
No.
Uh-oh.
it's a old puppet, Lithgow.
Balls.
To be.
Dick. Catheter.
Schaefer.
Birthday.
Oh,
It's good enough.
you got a drink.
I'll let you know if they pop in, but I'm not seeing them. Should we put out some calls?
I'm nervous.
Well checked.
Mm.
Sheridan's at the
He needs one of
local
those
assisted
life
living.
alert buttons. I've fallen and I can't get up.
I've fallen asleep and I forgot the drinking words. All right. Well, we'll have to do without them for the first time in a long time.
Oh, he'll be here.
We'll see.
Pharrell.
He's like the Great Pumpkin. I'm just going to sit here and wait until he comes.
I'm a little concerned.
All right. Well, then I guess it's time to go to the award-winning news segment.
It's the news. Yay.
Today's news is sponsored by Jason's birthday. So smash that like button and donate some kizash.
Let's hear that bell ringing constantly so we can buy Jason a present for his birthday. That's not a shitty
God
movie.
knows he doesn't get enough gifts.
Not enough.
He could help me pay for all these blood tests I have to do for my sick dog. That would be awesome.
That stuff's expensive, so here we go. We might do
Or you could donate to me and Hunter's actual blood tests.
my colonoscopy. I got to get done. Oh.
I had a colonoscopy story, but I'm going to save it for when we're done talking.
Good.
Can't wait.
This was the big news, and Cub reporter Hunter Shea was right on it, sending it to me, which I would have led with this saying, Hunter, this is for you. But actually, this week, you brought it to me. So I'm going to
from me and for
take
me.
it. I'm going to take it instead of give it.
It's about time you took it.
I'm going to take it like a man. Happy Death Day 3 is finally moving forward. What's her name? Jessica Roth was at a double feature screening of the first two movies, and somebody asked her about it, and she said it is moving forward. So,
is it going to start with her finally getting her AARP cards in the mail? I mean,
I was going to say it's been so long. She was in Jenny Penn. She was one of the inmates.
I know it's like long. This is the only thing longer than the Stranger Things break.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the orphan girl's going to be in it as a little girl too.
No, this is good news, man. I'm psyched.
The thing is, like, those are good movies, but like, there is a point where you're like, oh yeah, I don't even remember what the hell happened in the second one. There was like a time machine or something.
I am interested to see because the first is a horror movie, the second's a sci-fi movie, both with comedy. What's the third going to be? A sweeping
I've only
romance?
seen the first one. Is the second one any good? Worth watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I thought it didn't do well, and that's why we never got a third one.
It didn't do as well.
The last time I think we visited this topic, I think were they thinking about doing it as like a series instead of a movie had come around. So who knows? Maybe this will be an anime thing for all I know.
I feel like this is a series would get old.
Yeah,
well, it was originally, even in his head, Landon made it a trilogy. So he always had his plan as a trilogy.
Our old pal Steve Barnard would like to see it as like a X-rated zombie anime.
With
a hentai, is that how it's pronounced? Hentai?
Hentai, yeah.
Nurses,
exactly.
clown nurses. Yep.
And so much urine. Well, that's good news.
Well, hold my beer because I would not put this as good news, but I think all of our eyes will roll. You know how the Conjuring movies are supposed to be coming to an end? The next one is the last one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
According to New Line Cinema boss Richard Brenner, there's plenty more Conjuring-related movies to come, and even teased the idea of it becoming a Marvel-like franchise. So while this is the last of what we call phase one, we're hoping that we can make more. So,
wow.
Nun, Annabelle, whatever, they're all going to be in the same universe. And who knows who will pop up in movies.
You know, maybe comparing it to Marvel at a time when the brand is in complete collapse isn't what
That's
I would
terrible.
do. But yeah, sure.
How about an Annabelle versus Mithrigan?
I might actually watch that.
Yeah,
That
I might
sounds
actually
so bad.
That's what we're talking about. You're right. I would sign up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, once
I mean,
sorry, good.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say once some of these actors need a paycheck, then this series is coming right back around. I mean, it makes a ton of money. Yeah, how complicated is it to write these?
And how hard is it?
They investigate. They can just jack all those things up.
How hard is it to do like what the TV show Supernatural had a prequel TV show that showed the parents of the Winchester brothers, that it was short-lived, but you could do young Warrens, you could do the children of the Warrens. There's all kinds of
Warrens. Like when I would go see them.
When
I would
old
see
Warrens?
them. Old Warrens, yeah.
That would be awesome.
They're all old and fat.
Chickens and our roosters and all that fun stuff.
The last piece of news is very interesting. So you know how Black Phone 2 is on its way?
Yeah.
Well, somebody saw I haven't seen the trailer, but somebody online saw the trailer and reported that it was at CinemaCon. They showed the first trailer, and apparently they're going the route that we keep saying that Halloween should just give in and do, and that is the grabber in the trailer. The kid is now older, answers the phone, and the grabber's on the phone. So it's going supernatural, which it had ghosts in the first one, but now the killer. So rather than like a new guy wearing the mask,
yeah,
I think they're going with the Jason getting hit by lightning and coming back as a zombie. Right off the bat.
They should do that to every horror movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Every franchise should just watch Friday the 13th 6 and just ape it.
Scream.
Yep.
Just
Scream.
I'm good with that. I would go see a Wishmaster movie if they Jasoned it, just for the fun of it.
I mean, let's not get ridiculous. Wishmaster. You clearly haven't seen Wishmaster 4.
No, I dropped out at 3. I should go to Tim's house and watch 4 with
I
him.
don't think I've ever watched a whole Wishmaster movie.
The first ones, I mean,
It's fun.
They're funny.
I should do that because I'm always looking for something to watch for this show.
Yeah,
They got some cool kills.
Do them
They're
all.
far worse
Wishmaster
movies.
4 is the Wishmaster walking through the woods, which is always a good sign.
That sounds good to me. We've heard that before.
Yep.
Now, what concerns me is that we didn't get interrupted with the $5 footlong for Jason's birthday this time. So, what's going on here? No Sheridan. We got no love.
Yeah, what is happening?
Is this Tuesday? Did we do this a day late?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Toten's not here. Joshua's not here. Johnny Recaps isn't here.
I thought I saw Toten in here. I don't know. I might be wrong.
God damn it.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa!
you shamed him into it.
Oh, Buck Rogers,
MVP,
Whoa.
MVP.
That's so funny.
1999.
Buck Rogers in the 21st century, baby.
There you go.
No comment, but thank you,
Okay,
man. I appreciate
he
that.
made his comment.
Thanks,
I like how
Steve.
you said there's no comments. We all got quiet for like a couple of seconds until somebody did it.
Like disappointed parents.
It's just like this. We'll wait.
Is this really how it's going to go tonight?
It's like you don't leave the table until you finish your vegetables. We're just going to sit here.
I feel better now.
Michael Clark just said, "What did you get Jason for his birthday, Jack?"
I got him that
1999.
1999 donation, baby. I'm out there selling, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Shit.
You guys are just retarded. I include myself in that. So, are we? Is this?
That's all the news. It's fit. That's all the good news. It's fit to print.
Thanks,
All
Jack.
right. Thank you, Gary Gnu. Let's move on to the wonderful curation part of this show.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh, birthday boy. I want you to lead the parade today.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to double team this with Chad. We'll just high five over this movie's back because we both watched 825 Forest Road, which was a possibility as one of our main features. and we chose the Jenny Penn. I always want to say Jenny Penny movie. So this is done by Stephen Cognetti, who has done the Hell House movies, which were all... I want to make sure I got that right. Yeah, it was Hell House. And the last one wasn't fully found footage. I don't remember. It's been too long.
No, I think it was.
But this one is not found footage, except for a few segments that are kind of a first-person thing, but just kind of a straightforward movie. Very small budget. Very small budget. But I will say this guy knows how to put some decent scares on the screen, some decent tension on the screen. I was very impressed, particularly because most of this movie takes place during the day. Like the vast majority of it. Most of the scares are in broad daylight in a house, and they are pretty damn effective. The writing could have used some work. Some of the dialogue is bad. Some of the character interactions, like something horrible would happen to someone in this house, and the next scene is like them laying down in bed in the room it happened to them in. Like nobody has the proper reaction to the insanity that is happening in this movie to them. But there's some cool backstory with this town. How much should I say? A family moves into a new town, and they move into a haunted house. Is the best way I could describe it. And then they're trying to figure out what's happening. It feels like a story that's been done a ton, but the way he did it kind of felt a little more original. But the character reactions to stuff, it was driving me nuts. If I saw and heard some of the shit happening in this, I am getting a flight to another continent, let alone staying in the same house. I am out. There's some really fun pieces of backstory with the town and some of the residents, but it's not fleshed out nearly well enough. It got me interested, and then it just kind of goes away towards the last half of the movie. But I feel like this is a good Shudder movie. This is one, I've said this a million times. If you've ever thought, oh, I wish I could make a movie, watch this. This dude made a movie for nothing, and it looks pretty damn good, and the sound work is pretty damn good. Got some of the CG ghost face shit, which is kind of annoying, like the stretchy mouth shit. Like,
oh yeah.
Enough of that. We don't need that anymore. But man, his use of background movement, like just a little bit of something.
Oh, Michael Clark, $9.99. This is a whole new level for Mr. Clark.
Refund
Thank
for
you.
the book you bought at Scares 24.
Aw, it's nice of you, Michael.
He's a good
You know what?
guy.
I think I paid more than that for the book, though. I think probably.
Yeah, let's add some tax in there.
Oh my lord!
Thanks, man. I appreciate
If anything,
that.
we owe him money. He's giving us all so much cool swag. But
For real.
whatever.
I still have the Jaws sand on my desk.
See, now we have to do Bo is Afraid.
Oh, speaking of Jaws,
Uh
I got something. I got to find it.
oh. All right.
So anyway,
Did you?
solid movie. Could have used some writing work, but solid movie, particularly for a guy who's done found footage. And I don't know. I think the only movies I know him from are Hell House. I don't know if he's done anything else or not, but I liked it. I think with some changes, this could have been one I would have really been going nuts for.
So is this not main feature worthy?
I think I would be curious what you guys think of it. If we got a week where we can't find something, I would say so.
It's on Shudder.
That's what I'm saying. You want to
It's on Shudder.
some of these Shutter ones that are, but not all of them are worth like a 15-minute conversation about.
No.
I also find these low budget movies where they do interesting stuff that I like talking about that stuff, even if it's not a movie that I love. I like seeing a guy put something together.
Yeah, take a swing.
So
you were on the front end of this double team.
Mhm.
Chad's on the back end.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Chad?
Chad
from the back.
I almost turned it off at the beginning because the acting is bad and the dialogue is bad. But then the first scare happened, the first creepy thing, and I was like, hey, that was actually cool. And then at that point I was engaged. The acting never picked up. I had a lot of the same problems that Jason had with it. But then the plot started heading into kind of like a deep psychological horror story with some twists that I appreciated and forced me to pay attention closer. But then there was some really lazy writing in here, like the guy's sister this girl that lives there, she records her thoughts into a mini recorder as a form of journaling, but really it's just a tool for info dumps because she would talk about this accident, her trauma. Just lazy, really. I mean, the epitome of lazy writing right there. That whole. But yeah, and the CGI ghost face stretching thing, which that was old 20 years ago, and it's right up there for me with like hiring a contortionist to walk down the hall in your movie. It's just neither one of them are scary. So but I did enjoy, like Jason said, this guy he did the same thing in Hell House LLC, where I don't think clowns are scary, but Hell House is the only one where I thought that clown is actually scary. I just normally just think they're silly, and so he did some stuff in here too that was like okay, that was cool, but I don't know, there's something about it that just didn't. I know that I read a lengthy Reddit thread and people were really praising it, but then if you head over to Letterboxd, they freaking hate this movie. So
it's like 50-50. I read some reviews too because I wanted to hear what people thought, and some people are like, "This was good, I liked it," and some people are like, "This is such a piece of shit."
I didn't hate it. I thought it had a great potential, but the poor acting and some of the cliche stuff. But again, the dude does have some scaring chops. But I don't. I mean, I wouldn't push for main feature. I mean, I keep thinking about Unwelcome and Starmaker. Better.
This doesn't sound like main feature material to me. It sounds like Curation.
But yeah, not horrible.
I've already seen it, so it doesn't matter to me either way.
Sheridan's alive, ladies and gentlemen. Sheridan is alive, and we are drinking.
Good to see you, man.
Who wants to tackle him?
I'll do him. All right, Sheridan, because you're late, I think you owe us a super chat. Otherwise, here are his drinking words. If you hear Jack say Rush, Nursing, or Jenny, take a drink. If Hunter says Lithgow, Old, or Bully. If I say Zealand, Dave, or Birthday, said all of those.
Yeah.
If Lutsky says To Be Home or Therapy. Or if any of us say the bonus words Puppet, Cat, or Judge. Meow. And we're glad you're alive.
Yeah.
So my screen name is a drinking word.
Yeah, really. Jack, did you find your Jaws thing that you were looking for?
So let me start off by saying, you guys remember that recently I moved and I had to declutter and I got rid of a lot of stuff. Hunter, I sent you some of my fun stuff that I wanted to have a new home.
That is now part of my clutter. I love it.
Sometimes when you declutter and then it's the Jaws 50th anniversary year, you have to reclutter a little bit. So I got the Jaws coloring book.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow.
You haven't colored in it, though.
No, I'm on the fence of like, do I color this or do I just put it in a bag and keep it preserved?
I just keep it.
How much did that cost? Because it's a Jaws property. Like your average coloring book is $3.
No, this is probably like $15. I don't know. It was Amazon. If you go on Amazon, you can tell how much it was.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I'm glad you have it.
It was under $20 because my threshold for dumb purchases is usually between $10 and $20 for.
Right.
So like if this was $25, I probably wouldn't have done it.
No, but you need to have that.
Yeah. So Jaws.
If you don't have that, nobody should. All right. Whoa.
Was that loud? Was that loud?
That was Jenny Pence smacking on Chad's nuts.
You mentioned coloring book, and I just remembered that. Hang on, I'm finding it.
Through all his coloring books.
I'm glad we're showing our coloring book collections here tonight.
Yeah.
That's a new level. This is a new appeal.
That is my only coloring book.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, there's a reason why I have this one. Oh, because here we go.
It's a Chad Lutsky coloring book.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, was that the Control Alt Cassie thing?
No comment.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Next.
You're the one who showed it.
You just showed
I
a
know,
coloring book.
but I
of
didn't know
yourself.
someone was going to
Wait,
bring
you
up
just show a
names.
coloring book of yourself and then you don't explain it?
No, not for
No,
this person.
He's in
no.
a coloring book.
I feel like what if somebody was to donate, say $5? Would you tell them then?
That was a turn of events I did not expect.
No, well,
We just sit here and watch you rifle through your coloring books to show us, and then say nothing about it.
I ruined it, obviously,
Yeah.
without realizing I was going to ruin it. I apologize. I didn't mean to torpedo that.
Anywho, I went to the theater this week because I have the AMC whatever
Park pass.
So I got to go to the movies a couple times a month it pays for itself if you see 2 or 3 movies a month.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Hell of a Summer, the Wolf Finhart slasher flick.
That wasn't playing anywhere up by me, which I was surprised.
I saw the trailer. I'm curious.
I went on Sunday. It was cold and dark, and it was a good day to just go to the movies and eat some peanut M&Ms. And I went in very low expectations, and I gotta say that I enjoyed myself watching this movie.
Wow.
It is a horror comedy about a summer camp, and the main character, I think his name is Jason, is a 24-year-old who was a counselor, and then once he sort of aged out of being a counselor, keeps coming back, like the guy who graduates high school but keeps coming back to the parties.
Yeah, that's the running joke in the trailer. It's kind of funny.
And then it's the day before all the campers are coming, and slashery stuff starts happening. And I gotta say, I think there are a few reasons why I like this movie. It is way
Jack,
more
ring
of
the bell. Ring the bell.
Oh my holy!
Jason, your dog's gonna be okay.
Sheridan.
Sheridan has come in and saved your dog's life. $100.
Sheridan coming in hot. What
People
the hell?
are swinging
Oh,
big ones tonight.
wow, $100.
That's a birthday. I mean,
don't spend it all, folks, because my birthday's May 7th.
My birthday
Right around
and
the
Chad's
corner.
just passed by.
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. We need to
As
back
if it
up.
all doesn't go into my bank account anyway.
Retroactive.
Yeah, really. Don't send me anything.
No, please send him too.
Yeah. Thank
you,
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Was awesome.
I am actually glad you made it.
You're the man,
I
Sheridan.
mean, it's all red too. I don't know how that happens, but
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Is that
Is it
if
the
it hits
amount?
a certain
Is
amount?
it?
that's like code red, baby.
Let's see if we can get a whole rainbow of colors here.
He's
Wow.
See what
alive.
500 looks like.
That's super jealous. Super generous. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're alive
Extremely.
and now $100 lighter in your wallet.
Everybody should take a drink for that.
Well, he was working, so he's probably working overtime so that he could afford the super chat.
That's it.
It's very nice of him.
Jason Ramirez is asking Hunter if he's a P.O. box so we can send him something. If you send Hunter something, send me some stuff to his P.O. box because I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks.
I got to get
It's-
a P.O. box.
P.O. Box 49, Abingdon, Maryland, 21009.
It is not.
It's not.
I
that.
don't have access to that box. Do not send anything there. If anyone sends anything, make sure it has the word moist written over
Yes.
everything. This is moist.
I'm still waiting for the Toten-sized box to be mailed to.
I want the Stay
Jason's
Puft Marshmallow
house.
Man to come over to Jason's house.
Oh my God. I don't know where I would put that.
Like
thing.
the March of the Wooden Soldiers. The Good night, Ollie.
50-foot inflatable Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, you'll live inside that, Jason. That'll be your new house.
It might be the size of my office folded up. Like I don't even know what I would do with that.
So the thing is, don't send that. If anyone has that idea, don't.
Well, the thing is, it's very easy to just order it from Home Depot and have it delivered there. Don't make the mistake of ordering it, taking it home, and then reshipping it.
This is true. There you go. You
Not your
removed
first
an
time.
obstacle, Jack.
All right, back to this movie. Jason, I thought of you because I feel like this year, anything with humor in it, you and I are on different pages. So while this movie is more comedy than it is horror, and I think the comedy is kind of the Gen Z generation. This whole thing is like Gen Z's tip of the cap to the 80s slasher era.
Yeah.
And it's kind of trying to do Wet Hot American Summer and Sleepaway Camp or Friday the 13th.
That's what the trailer looked like, and I did not like it.
You know, like horror movies written by 21-year-olds?
I popped down, watched this movie, and I found it entertaining. I thought, as a horror movie, I wish it had a little more edge to it. There was a couple of times where they kind of did off-screen kills, but when I thought about it, there was a reason why they did that in a couple of cases. But it could have had more balls as a horror movie. The humor, some of it, I was just kind of whatever. But I sat and I had a pleasant time at the movies as a horror fan. I was like, is this going to change my life? I'm going to go buy the Blu-ray? No. But did I enjoy myself? Yes. And then I thought about it and I said, I think part of the reason why I like this movie is I've been so frustrated with the movies I've watched, like since, early February.
Yeah.
That I finally watched a movie that I wasn't like the Unicorn movie. The further I get from that movie, the less I liked it.
I forget it. Did Borderline?
Yeah, I was like meh about it.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you're having a tough time with the comedy.
I like this better than the Unicorn movie. So
that's saying something.
I liked it. I liked it better than a lot of the crappy found footage movies I've been watching. Some of our main features. Again, nothing to write home about. This is not a main feature for going to the theater. If it was on like HBO or Netflix, sure, we could have a good conversation about it. Hunter, I think you might get a kick out of it.
I wanted to see it. That's why I was checking to see if it was around.
But Jason, I also see you like just getting pissed off at it because it's like
this isn't funny.
Annoying humor, yeah.
You jerks.
And I have no idea.
Too old, screaming at the clouds.
Yeah, Chad, I can't figure you out. So
I just cannot abide by bad humor. I just, oh God.
But for me, for a Sunday afternoon matinee, I was tired, long week, watched it, was like, cool. I got my movies pass worth. So
I thought you were going to say you saw that A Woman in the Yard or something.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about going to that, but I've heard mixed things about that too. And I was like, I'll go for the funny one.
Are the kids entitled and do they have an agenda, or is it, as long as it doesn't have that stuff in it, then?
I actually thought the kids were kind of funny. The lead guy is great in it. The guy who plays the too old to be there guy.
Yeah.
And then they have like kind of some stereotypes like any slasher movie would, but some of the interaction between them was okay. I don't know. It's a little less insufferable than some of the other Scream knockoffs that you try and see. This was less trying to be Scream than a lot of other slasher parodies that have come along, or whatever you want to call this. I thought, you know what I could feel? I feel like there was a genuine fandom somewhere in here, and I was like, you know what? These guys, this is a good first swing, and I'd like to see what they can come up with as they get older and more seasoned. So,
all right. Well, I want to see it even more now. So, thank you.
That kid has a band too. That's not bad at all.
I'm sure he'll have a podcast and write a children's book all over in the next year.
I got to give it a mild recommend.
That's way more than I expected. From that trailer, I was like, oh God. So
I really had to think twice before. I was like, do I really want to do this? And I was like, I got to get a movie in.
Yeah, good job. All right.
Nice.
So this last week, other than watching way too many Dua Lipa videos, I watched Joe Bob because it was the first Friday of the month.
Oh, God.
I watched Intruder, which was his ode to slashers. The double feature was Intruder, 1989, starring the Raimi brothers.
Dude, I almost texted you while I was watching it. I should have.
I mean, I've seen this movie before.
I hadn't.
Oh, you hadn't? So this is your first time?
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm going to chime in.
So this is a slasher movie that's set entirely in a supermarket over the course of one night. Came out in 1989. I was working in a supermarket. So I feel the vibes for this movie. the best way to watch this is with Joe Bob. First of all, there must have been some decree from down on high. Like when we break to you, Joe, just you could talk for a couple of minutes and then move on. So there wasn't any long diatribes, but the key thing was his 24 things for a perfect slasher movie. And the first thing he said, yeah. So it was over the course of the night. The second movie was in a violent nature. The first thing he mentioned, you got to start with a kill. This movie did not start with a kill. Took 20, 30 minutes before there was a kill. So
really?
It broke his own rules. I don't get it. It's also an 80s movie with no nudity. Also don't get.
Well, that had to be one of his rules. It's Joe Bob.
It might have come later because I didn't stick around for the...
Well, that was for the perfect slasher. So it's not a perfect slasher.
No, that it is not. So, but you would think you would pick a perfect slasher when you're describing the perfect slasher movie. But it is what it is. Darcy was dressed up like Ted Raimi. Her second Ted Raimi cosplay. She was just wearing like a smock, like she's working in a supermarket, and headphones. Not the sexiest thing ever. But what's happening is they're all working there, and this girl, the checkout girl, her ex has come out of prison, and he's being an ass to her and kind of creepy. And they throw him out, and then they also let everybody know that they've sold the supermarket, so they've got one more month to go, and they're spending the night there, it seems, repricing things. And as Joe Bob says, you notice the shelves are just full of cereal and beer, which was kind of funny.
Nice.
There are some awesome kills in this movie. There's a bandsaw kill that has to be seen to be believed. Really cool. I actually really enjoy this. I enjoy this. This may be the third time I've seen it. So, and it's a pretty good slasher.
These shots here.
Oh,
such great camera
POV shots of here's looking at from inside a phone. Here's what things look like from inside a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Weird choices. There's red herrings in here. So you don't know who the killer is till very close to the end.
Vanilla faces.
Yo, what's up? We are vanilla. Till the sun actually comes out and I can get tan. So if you've never seen it and you have Shudder, watch it along with Joe Bob and Darcy. If you don't, watch it anyway, because this is it's a good representation of 80s straight to video horror.
You're totally right though. Like there's no kills for like the first 30 minutes. You gotta have patience. Because once it kicks in, it's 80s rific.
And man, supermarkets are so good. There are so many things to murder yourself with, even by accident working in a supermarket.
I worked in a supermarket in high school, and when the guy was writing down the conveyor belt thing, it's like, I did that all the time.
Yeah. I also accidentally got locked in a cold case, and I thought I was going to die.
Ooh, Bobby Brady.
Luckily, an hour in, somebody came and got me. And the whole time I was sitting in there drinking Peel's beer. I brought like a case of Peel's beer down there to just drink alone.
The fastest I ever saw somebody drink a beer was this guy Wade I worked with at A&P. And to this day, I'm like, that's the fastest any human has ever drank a beer. We also had the box smasher thing.
Oh, we had that too. We put everything in that.
Actually, ours was just trash in general. It wasn't just boxes.
Yeah, we crushed
it. But
everything.
Having worked in a supermarket, I've never seen this movie, and I'm just like, where the hell has this movie been my whole life?
Somebody sent me this for SBIG. Are you saying it's just...
It's good.
It's good. It's not...
Okay.
It's not bad.
Sam and Ted Rainey are in it, right? Sam's in it too, right?
Yeah, Sam's the butcher and Ted's the produce guy, or I forget how it works.
Damn, I wish I'd seen this.
Well,
and you're right about You're right about Joe Bob too. He was short and to the point.
Yeah,
such a difference. Like sometimes when we're watching Joe Bob, thank God, like when we're watching it together, we're talking because sometimes he just keeps going, and you're like, when is this thing going to be over? I got to go to bed.
He also sounded like he had a cold, so maybe he wasn't up to the challenge.
He sounded either that or he's just old.
Well, it does come out of nowhere, hit you with a left cross, and
yes, as we'll see.
The path. But yeah, check Intruder out on Shudder if you can. If not, find it anywhere else you can.
Yeah, I've never seen this. Now I want to.
Yeah, you gotta.
So good.
Nice.
All right, Jason, birthday boy.
Alrighty.
Drink.
I read a book by someone who's in here in the chat quite a bit. R.D. Smithey. He mentioned one time in the chat that he had a book for free called People Die Here. So I grabbed it. And I really like this book. It's a collection. So there's a bunch of different stories. And I think it started off with a detective occult fantasy story that I honestly kind of wish it had been the whole book because I was really into this world.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's only 20 pages or something, but his world building in it was really good. So I was super interested in it. And then he had another story called Pinky Ring, which is from So Bad It's Good. I'm assuming that's why he named it Pinky Ring. Something we talk about on the show all the time. About a man who puts on a pinky ring he finds at a shop and it makes him go crazy and he starts killing people. It's maybe 150 pages, if I had to guess. I read it pretty quickly. Maybe 200, but I don't think so. Very solid book. I really enjoyed this.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
Definitely worth checking out.
What's it called again?
People Die Here.
People
I believe
Die
is
Here.
the name of the collection.
I actually waited till I had to buy it. So I didn't get the free
Dumbass.
copy. I bought it. I know.
I actually bought a book you recommended that I'm reading now that I will rant about next week. So,
oh, boy.
not the book itself, but I'll get to it next week.
All right. I'm looking forward to next week.
This is definitely worth a read. Nice job, man. It's a good book.
Nice. All right, Chad.
I watched a movie called Womb.
Womb.
Oh, I've heard
Came
of that
out
movie.
this year. And it's an indie movie that starts out with a pregnant woman way out in the countryside. Guy comes along with this camouflage ghillie suit thing. And I kid you not, a camouflage baby carrier / car seat. He's carrying that with him too. It's empty, but it's camouflage.
All right.
So there's some cat and mouse, and when he finally catches up with the woman, he makes her not pregnant anymore. So a year later,
That was
a
a way to
couple
put that.
head out to to this guy's sister's house to stay for a day while he goes to work. The woman meets his sister for the first time. Chick is pregnant, and they know all about the baby snatching guy from the woods a year earlier. And this plays out like a home invasion movie and gets moving pretty fast.
It's like a womb invasion movie.
But it could have been written so much better. Instead of playing the first half as a slasher, they could have gotten craftier with this, and then the third act would have really paid off a lot more. Because I saw one of the twists coming. And when you watch this first half, and it's just a kind of a straightforward slasher feel, with this ghillie suit guy, it's just kind of I don't know. It's hard to swallow. My main problem is that this kind of movie is not for me anymore because it's essentially torture porn. It's gory, yeah, but it's the gore is not necessarily in excess. The torture part comes from watching people in complete anguish for way too long, as well as the subject matter of this fetal abduction stuff. Jason would not enjoy this. Mothers to be and new mothers certainly would not. Empathetic parents wouldn't either. It also has one of the bleakest endings I've ever seen in a movie. And if you thought the original Speak No Evil was bleak, then check this out. Zero mercy, zero happy ending.
Is this like if you like The Coffee Table, you'll like this?
Well, this is no, because this is no budget. And some of the stuff that's in here is laughable. But it's not like shot to video or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, some cool ideas. They weren't afraid to go there, certainly. But yeah, the whole torture porn thing, I think I stopped being a fan of watching people's misery, but by the time I was 20, or by the time I had my first kid, I don't know.
We've been around
not really
long
my
enough.
thing.
Life has put us through misery. We don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
womb.
Not fun. Will not watch.
Get out of my womb, you.
Get off my womb.
Jackie, would you watch something in a womb?
No, I wet a book.
Wow.
This is called Immortal Pleasures by V. Castro. A friend of mine.
Jesus.
This is a vampire book by V. Castro, who has been on Monster Man. I've hung out with her twice at Scares of Care.
Mm-hmm.
She was really cool. And when I heard she had a vampire book, I just clicked, bought it, and just got around to reading it.
I'm surprised you got the print book, because the ebook, at least you have a free hand while you read.
Yeah, but I got this whole music stand thing going with paper clips and stuff. Look at the audio book.
Oh God.
Hey, well, look, there are some spicy scenes in this book.
That's
The cover
saying.
might tell you, and the cover might tell you.
That's
So
her
as
thing.
They paid good money for those on that cover.
Yeah. It's kind of a historical fiction book, because the main character is this woman who's a vampire from, I don't know, hundreds of years, and is a real person in history. And there are some other players in the story that are also based on real people. But the thing is that this is not a like Salem's Lot kind of vampire book. If there was two bins of like Salem's Lot or Anne Rice, this would go more in the Anne Rice side. But it's not quite an Anne Rice book either. This is kind of a where is it described as seductive dark fantasy. It's got some romance to it. It's got some sex in it. It's
50 Shades of Crimson.
Yeah, it's got some adventure to it. It's steeped a lot in history, so you really learn about the whole journey of this woman vampire, and she's seeking love.
Who isn't?
And she has two different lovers in the book. So V is a very good writer, and this is a good book. It's not my usual kind of vampire story, so for me it was interesting to like read something out of my comfort zone, and see somebody else's take on something sort of like vampires in kind of a different light.
Right.
But in recommending it, I want people to realize, if you like, ooh, vampires, like the book I just read by Red Legault is more of like a
Traditional.
horror-y, traditional. This is more like it's got horror in the Venn diagram. There's less horror and more like romance and adventure
Right.
in it.
Well.
But good. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, check it out. Look it up on Amazon. And if you just like a little spice, giddy up.
Nice.
I was just going to say, so I've got some bookmarks here. If anybody would like to get a reading.
Keep the book.
I still haven't read any of her stuff. I need to.
I'm surprised the book even opened. So I'm going to recommend the book too, but real quick, I just want to recommend for comic book people. Jack, you read Detective Comics, Batman stuff?
I have, not in a while, but
the current arc is phenomenal. It is Batman's getting old and he's seeking treatment to help him with healing and getting younger. And at the same time, kids who have been in juvenile detention are being murdered brutally. And it turns out their blood is being harvested for serums to keep people young.
oh boy.
It's brutal, and it's kind of scary at times too. And it's fantastic. It's the best thing. I read a lot of comic books lately, and it's the best thing I'm reading right now by far.
Wow.
But that's a
Detective
throwaway.
Comics. I didn't even know they still did that, to be honest.
Dude, this is like issue like 1095.
Wow. That's
Which
wild.
I appreciate the fact, or suppose I go in, hey, can I get a Captain America? Would you want issue 2? I'm like, issue 2?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I can't stand that shit. Captain America Volume 9 or whatever the hell. Like, stop.
Yeah. At least they'll put like what the legacy number is, and also Captain America can only be Steve Rogers. Let's stop with the Sam Wilson bullshit. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. So the book I want to talk about is, and he was in here earlier, Wintry Monster Press. It's Feed the Sky by Wesley Winters. So this is...
I like that cover.
The cover is awesome, right?
Yeah, that's really good.
I dig it.
And this is... he self-publishes. So he's got his own press, and I think... this is like a novella that has also several short stories that are all related to it, because this is part 1 of the Fucked trilogy.
Of the what?
The Fucked trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wasn't kidding around.
I thought maybe I misheard you. I was like,
me too.
That's a ballsy name for a trilogy.
It sure is. So this is this has a scene that really sticks with me. In the very beginning, it starts out with a guy and his daughter. I think they were out hunting in the woods or getting mushrooms. I think that was it. And then all of a sudden something happens to him, and he's kind of like in midair. Kind of like if you're in a tractor beam being sucked, if you're Travis Walton being sucked up into a UFO, but he's stuck there, and like pieces of him are just coming off of him and just floating up into the sky, disappearing into the stars. And then you cut to a bunch of horny 20-somethings out in the woods camping. We're going to get laid. We're going to have some drinks. And it turns into just crazy ass cult/cosmic horror. Like, this is Tim Meyer written all over it. He would love this book. In fact,
this is good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really well written. And I was really drawn in. There were some scenes in here I was like, holy cow, this is crazy stuff. So if you love, like, you know, dummies in the woods coming across things that maybe they shouldn't, this is really good. So Feed the Sky, part of the FUCKED trilogy by Wesley Winters.
That's a ballsy name.
It is.
So I'm not seeing this in ebook on Amazon.
No, there are no ebooks, because remember when we all found out that Meta was using all our books to teach AI how to write books?
No.
Yeah, when that came out, they pulled all their ebooks, so no one else can do it.
Okay, is this guy in the same press as the Alien book you recommended a few weeks ago?
Yes.
That's what I was going to rant about, because I was trying to find...
Is that what you prefer, Jason?
I haven't read a paper book in... I couldn't tell you.
Dude, yeah. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have sent you...
I collect physical copies, but I don't read them.
I'd have sent you the EPUB.
No, I mean, it's fine. I buy a lot of books, but I'll wait till next week. But I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's here? And he wasn't the only one that did that. Other people did that too because of that. I just said, well, at least AI is learning from the best. You can take all my books. Have fun with it. Jerks.
This reminds me of the piracy thing people were shitting their pants over 10 years ago. And it's like, don't worry about shit you can't control.
Yeah. I can't even control my damn kids. So, whatever.
Great cover, though. That is a great book cover.
It's a phenomenal cover. Really good book.
Jack just turned one of the bookmark pages that he just peeled apart, and he's off camera now. You better turn your mic off too, Jack.
I'm sorry. Are we back? I'll just put this bookmark in and.
I think that's a book that Jason will treasure. Just like I know he'll only handle books I send him with gloves.
Please send me that one.
All right. Does anybody have anything else? Or we're done?
Oh, I'm spent.
It's time for a cigarette.
Oh, light them up, everybody. We're going to the old folks' home with the rule of Jenny Penn.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Man, shout out to Shudder for getting a movie with some actors with gravitas. John Lithgow and Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush.
Lithgow will turn 80 this year. Jeffrey Rush is only like 72. You would think those ages were flipped.
Yeah.
From watching
when
the
Lithgow
movie.
was dancing around in one scene, I was like, dude, he's almost 80.
My wife said, she goes, I can't move like that. I said, you never could. But it's all right. I still love you. So who wants to give this a shot and synopsize this sucker?
I guess I will.
Go for it.
A grumpy judge suffers a stroke and is put into an assisted living facility where workers don't seem to be paying attention, and there's a bully there. This bully is outrageous and carries around with him a little baby doll puppet, and things get wild. And yeah, he's quite the bully. That's all I really want. That's all I can really say, I guess.
You could say Lithgow does some crotch grabbing.
Okay.
Is it grabbing or hammering?
Jostling? I don't know what was happening.
And catheter tugging.
Yeah.
I will say, my wife at one point, she goes, why is there so much urine in this movie? There's a lot.
There's a lot.
But, you know, when you're older, that's what happens.
I had to look up who Jeffrey Toobin is to get the reference on
I wasn't sure
my name change.
Grooving with Toobin.
It's a guy who jerked off on the call on CNN.
That's amazing. Isn't he a lawyer, too?
I don't know.
I think he is.
It's the greatest is to watch the interview with him where he apologizes for it.
That woman's on set with her.
Yeah.
With him. Talking about lubing his tubing.
Let me tell you, Zoom meeting calls are like saltpeter. If you're getting randy during that, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
All right, birthday boy, we're going to start with you again because it's your special day. I wish I could put a hat on you.
I like this movie quite a bit. It helps to have great actors in this. I mean, there are moments where it's just an extreme close-up of Jeffrey Rush's face. And it's just, you get everything that's happening to him throughout this movie. This isn't like my favorite movie of the year or anything. I don't mean to like overplay it, but I thought it was a slow, steady. Honestly, it was kind of disturbing for me at points because you're watching these elderly people who can't get out of a chair or can't get out of bed, just be tortured by this psycho. But it never got into like torture porn territory or anything like that. So I don't want to like turn somebody off from it. But just somebody so defenseless being treated in the way some of these people are treated is, I don't know. It just disturbed me in a way. I wish it was about 15 minutes shorter.
Yeah, it was an hour 45, I think.
Yeah, because this is slow paced. There are a couple spots where I was like, okay. But for a Shudder movie, hell of a shot. I dug this one.
Wow. All right. How about you, Chad? Since me, you, and Jack are the closest to going into a home.
I really like this a lot, man. It was a blast. I don't know that the end paid off for me as much as I thought it would, but I had so much fun getting there. I laughed a lot because of just the outrageousness of it. It's not a comedy, but I mean, some of the stuff that Lithgow was doing was freaking hilarious.
You are such a disturbed individual.
I've never thought the word "this is a blast" would not be used sarcastically for this movie.
Oh, I thought we were all be laughing. No?
Hey, I was laughing a lot in this movie.
Yeah, come on.
You weren't alone in that.
Anyway.
The dancing.
I had a lot of fun. Jason, like there was a lull, at least, like 2/3 of the way in. I thought this is dying a little bit. So yeah, 10 to 15 minutes cut out would probably be nice. And again, yeah, like Jason said, Shudder, home run for Shudder for sure. Grabbing these actors, and is this an original or just an exclusive or what?
I don't know. I put this under the category of maybe too good for Shudder.
It was in the theater briefly.
Yeah,
it's an IFC movie, so
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
I did see that. So yeah, okay. I was surprised to see that, because I think at least now, right now, it's Shudder exclusive. I think, but anyway, it's great movie. You guys didn't laugh, huh? Okay, well,
I did.
No, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely parts like that. I worked for a couple of years at not at a assisted living facility, but an adult foster care home for mentally ill people, and some of the residents were elderly people, where we would have to, help them shower, or they might, fall over and stuff like that, and somewhere incontinent or things like that. So, and it's always sad. And as you get older, you start to realize, I think that younger people have a hard time seeing that is going to be them one day, and that the people that they're kind of making fun of or whatever that used to be a young stud at one point, or a hot chick, or whatever, used
or
to be
judge.
real, so we're all going to get there unless we die before it. And
that's a great point. I think the rugby character hammers that home around the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
But great movie. I'm glad I saw it.
All
Hilarious.
Laugh a minute.
Comedy of the year.
What about you, Jack?
I thought this was a great movie that I don't know who I would recommend it to besides people who watch this podcast. Because
anyone who watched Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah. It is such a dark and depressing subject matter, and the subject matter kind of like I forget the movie that we watched where the girl's mother was old and she was dealing with that kind of stuff. And there was the Deborah Logan one. Look, the older
Taking of Deborah Logan.
That's another one.
That's a great.
The older, my family members get, and the older I get, I used to never have to go to doctors and things like that. And now suddenly, when I've had to go have something done, and there's times where you're like, oh my God, what the hell's happening to me? And then you look at your parents or whoever, and you see this thing creeping up, like you were saying, Chad. So for me, I wasn't laughing at this movie much. I was watching it kind of like, oh yeah, wow, this is like one of those sobering movies. It's not like going to see Hell of a Summer where you just kick back and laugh at it.
Right.
This was one of those ones like, oh, this is that side of horror where you're, real life is more bullying in general is a hard subject, and aging is a hard subject. So when you mix the two, it's really packing a punch. So I thought this was really well shot. It was composed really well. Acting was tremendous. But it was like did I like it? I liked the movie, but did I enjoy it? It's not a fun ride, but it's a great movie. So, I think it's one of the better movies of the year. So thumbs up for me, dog.
Nice. You know what, Jack? I am right in line with you. I thought Lithgow and Rush, they proved that there's no sell-by date on great actors. And the fact that a horror movie is getting guys like them in it is pretty remarkable. Usually, if you saw older guys in a horror movie, these were people who were never very good to begin with, and they're on the tail end, and they've been puttering around, and they just grab them because they're cheap.
Lithgow just got Harry Potter, which is going to be he's going to be Dumbledore in Harry Potter.
For what, 7 movies?
I don't know. He's
they're doing like an HBO. I think they're doing like HBO
it's a series.
I think each book's going to be like a season.
Which means he's going to be pushing 90.
By pushing 100 by the time they're done. But
that's like the level Lithgow's on right now. Like he's hitting his stride again at almost 80.
I remember I was introduced to him in The World According to Garp. That's the first time I remember. Oh, that guy.
What the hell is
he was Robin Williams. He's a writer.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think Twilight Zone was the first one. Twilight Zone, the movie, was the first time I remember seeing him.
He's been in so many good movies. He's amazing. But I like the fact that we finally got a horror movie that's dealing with the subject of age. And the fact that these poor people are institutionalized now in a home that actually doesn't look too bad. Like, we put my grandfather in one that looked like a government facility. It was just white, gray walls, and everything was just disgusting and beat up. And he shared a room with 5 other guys, which was a nightmare. None of them were continent. So whenever you walked in there, you just had to wish that your nose would fall off your face. But there was humor. So Chad, we did laugh in that home every time because he had his bunkmate had acromegaly or something where his skull was really huge and his hands and everything. And my grandfather would say, "Take a look at old Big Head over there. Say hello to Big Head. Big Head, it's my grandson." And this guy couldn't move. And he
Big Head's on his deathbed and he's still getting shit on for his condition.
So I thought about this. I'm like, in a way, my grandfather, who, you know, if you said, "Can you walk from one end of the house to the other?" You'd start in the morning, he'd get to the other side sometime by midnight. Was just a bully trapped in his own bed, bullying Big Head next to him until Big Head passed away. And then he was like, "Big Head, he died. There's no more Big Head. Thank God now I can see the door. That head was blocking the door."
Your head looks like an orange on a toothpick.
Like, what's that movie? How I Married an Axe? I Married an Axe Murderer?
Head.
No wonder you found this funny. Your grandfather was Lithgow, just with a more broken body.
It
father
hit
was
me
Leprechaun and Lithgow.
Plus, this movie had less supervision than Halloween 2, the hospital at Halloween 2.
Yeah.
There was an avenue that we'll talk about in spoilers where you bring that up to I'm like, is there something else going on here that we'll find out later? So we'll talk about that later.
It's like Charlie Brown's parents. Like everybody's parents are Charlie Brown. They're just really not existing.
So I thought this is a really, really good movie. Solid. The fact that it's on Shudder is amazing to me. So I'm glad we watched this. And despite Stephen King's praising of it, I still like it a lot.
I think what Chad and Jason said is true. There's a little bit of repetitiveness to it that they could have shaved a little bit off because every episode of the encounters, you know, they maybe could have skipped one of those or two.
You know what? I didn't notice the time at all. Like I was locked in, but I don't know. I'm always hoping that movies tackle aging and that stage of life more.
Oh, this
nailed it.
You just feel terrible because these people are all terrified. They're terrified of what happens to their bodies, what happens when they're gone. And then you got some schmuck, free reign, doing whatever the hell he wants. And turning dances into mosh pits.
When your kids go off to school and you're like, "Oh my God, who are they going to encounter?" and all that stuff. And then once your parents are old and you have to leave them somewhere, you're like, the staff, the other people who work there, the people who come to visit them, like, you know, you just want to protect them, but you can't be there all the time. So that in itself, you're right. It's ripe for horror. And the fact that this had no supernatural at all was key.
Which was a surprise.
You know, unlike the Black Phone, this doesn't need the supernatural.
There were a couple of elements in this movie. I was like, are we going supernatural? But no. But you don't need it to enjoy the movie.
See, it's interesting. I didn't think the lack of supervision bothered me as much. My grandmother was in a home. She died last year, and she was in a home for the last couple of years. And man, some of those places, I wouldn't put a dog in.
Yeah,
like it's not all of them. I mean, my parents eventually got her into a decent one, but man, some of those places were like brutal.
My dad had a theory. He said the government should pay for you to go stay in a Holiday Inn for 1 week and give you 2 hookers a day until your heart gives out. And he goes, "You won't last the week." And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Bottle of Viagra and hookers.
Yeah, it's genius.
You go with a smile.
Viagra, some booze, a couple of hookers. I mean, you might not even last the first.
The Viagra is going to kill 95% of the guys on heart pills anyway.
That alone, yeah.
Yeah. That is a solid idea. I like that.
My dad was ahead of his time. He also wanted to take a hotel that went out of business and fill it with virtual reality sex rooms. Like, if you wonder why I am the way I am.
Your dad sounds like a pervert.
And this was like in 2000.
Sex on the mind.
We just heard his grandfather's John Lithgow, so I mean, it explains a lot.
Yeah, exactly. My father was a bully. I was a bully. Big Head. So, yeah, it's okay. All right. Do we want to get to spoilers? bell has
Spoiler
rung.
alert.
Did Jason and Jack, you guys really didn't laugh at the wrist licking every time that happened?
Like
No.
Jenny Penn's
Really?
Laugh at it. I was.
Oh my gosh.
No. I thought it was so gross.
Ugh.
I don't know if I laughed at that. I mean, I did laugh when the old folks were like doing the little dance and Lithgow came and just pummeled the shit out of everybody.
Oh, I laughed. I laughed too when he snuck in there and he sat in that chair with all that urine and then poured it on his lap. I was like, oh my gosh.
That one I did not laugh at.
I didn't laugh at any of that. You laughed when he made
Sick
Jeffrey
bastard.
Rush lick his wrist?
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was an incredible performance by
Hunter,
Rush.
this is the guy who was lecturing.
No,
us
not
about-
that part. The
Jesus.
other times that he would do it, like the first 2 or 3 times he did it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is hilarious!"
No.
Like
Did
the
you
first
laugh
time
at
he
the wall pummeling?
didn't say anything. He just lifted up the dress and turned his wrist like that, and the dude licked it. The second time he said, "Like her," I don't want
Like her
to say it,
bottom.
but yeah,
Yeah, asshole's too gross for this show.
I keep it clean, my man.
Yeah, I didn't find this movie funny at all. I found it depressing.
Depressing.
Yeah. I thought, honestly, the way they used Rush's character to take him from being a powerful judge to completely unable to do anything was brilliant.
Yeah.
Even showing him in the shower, he can't even shower himself. He can't do anything.
Tried to
He
kill
almost
himself.
drowns in a bathtub.
Yeah, that was sad.
By the way, we saw more nudity in this movie than all the other movies we've seen this year.
Hell of a Summer should have had as much nudity as this movie.
Saggy
had
man
no-
ass on display.
Yeah, if you'd seen Lithgow's ass, it probably would have bumped it up 2 pegs, right? 6-star to 8-star.
It would have had Chad in stitches.
I'm curious what you guys think about Lithgow's demise. I actually really liked the way they did it. I thought it was fitting of the movie that this bully who's just doing these horrible things, killing people, is so old. If he falls into sheets, he's in deep shit. I actually
And
thought that was a very fitting ending.
Strangled by a one-armed man and a guy with bad hips holding his legs.
Yeah,
Thank God they
thought it
did
was
that
cool.
because the asthma thing that they were just telegraphing like crazy. I'm like, if he dies of asthma, I'll fucking throw my shoe through the TV.
That was
So-
solid.
They didn't do that, thank God.
How'd you
But-
like the guy on fire at the at the
Oh,
beginning? I think that was
horrible.
demonstrating how bad the security was in that place. because
Oh, that's right.
unsupervised people with
Yeah,
Cigarettes,
cigarettes
booze.
and booze. And
So
that guy was a great actor too, man. He was great.
that guy is the reason I turned subtitles on in this movie.
I couldn't
He was
understand a word
speaking.
he
I was
said.
like, "What the hell is this guy saying?" I never turned subtitles on, but I had no clue.
Yeah, he
you know
was
what else I thought was cool? When they did the thing where Jenny Penn's head would come out like all big behind
Yeah,
Lithgow, the specter of the Jenny Penn. Thought that was well done because that really could have jumped the shark, and
Yeah.
instead it really brought gravitas to it.
yeah.
And you say there's no supernatural stuff to it, but the face of Jenny Penn changed like 3 different times in the movie.
I took that as Rush's mind was
Interpretation.
deteriorating so quickly that, it was changing for him.
I like the way though it had no eyes, but the light would shine.
I like
through
that
its
too.
Puppet
Yeah.
head
Yeah.
and come out
For
through
sure.
the eyes.
Just empty eyes.
If
And
you
I-
encountered that doll with an old man in real life, you would be so creeped out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's bizarre.
maybe I laugh so much because I also thought of I got a lot of Bubba Hotep vibes because kind of some similar concepts in there. 2 buddies trying to come together in their weakness, trying to defeat evil that's coming after them.
I can
One of
see
those
that.
movies is funny though, and the other
Yeah.
one is not.
But by the way, did you get a Shining Dr. Sleep vibe with the A? Looking at all the photos and Lithgow's there all the way back to 68.
I hadn't thought of that.
And then the cat
The
wandering through the home. And at one point, like 2 old people just get away from the cat. I'm like, if this
Was
cat
it the
is a
same
harbinger
thing
of
with the
death.
cat and Dr. Sleep? Where the cat
Yeah.
would visit you
Yeah.
and then you die?
But then you die.
It
Thank
was the
God
same
they
thing
didn't do
here,
that.
wasn't it?
Yep. That was my understanding because they wouldn't let it get anywhere near them.
Yeah, which
or
is
they
based
thought
on
it was cursed.
Yeah, which is based on a true story that really happening with a cat.
Freaking cats are scary.
There was another point I wanted to make, and it has completely eluded me. Oh, the guy at the beginning. I'm assuming Lithgow put gasoline in his flask, and that's why that happened. Because remember, he took a swig and immediately spit it out while Rush was walking away, and then as soon as he tries to light a cigarette, he just goes up. So that was my first thought was, Lithgow screwed with his stuff.
I don't know. I thought it was just whiskey is flammable. That's all I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Not like that. No, I assume because he spits it out as soon as he takes a drink of it. So
I thought it was because he was coughing.
Yeah, I thought it was he put something flammable in there.
It could have been. Yeah,
that's a good point. Did you like? My thing was, why does Lithgow have the run of this joint?
Well, they showed in the pictures that he worked there. So yeah, he knew his way around, and the staff must have known him from being he's like the guy at the summer camp that wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like they weren't even around to stop him. Like nobody even looked at him.
Another reason why you fear for your relatives in a place like that, because you're like, what kind of security is in this place? Who's walking around? Around here, probably most places have cameras, but the more affordable places, the less bells and whistles and security they have.
Yeah. The only bell they have is to call the coroner in some of these places. They're terrible.
They were dropping like flies, which is probably common.
When he let that old lady out to see her family, oh my God.
But then the other one, the guy collapses and it's like, help, help. And he just closes the door on him.
See ya. Scumbag.
Yeah. Solid movie.
It really was. I mean, we're not going to see two performances like that very often. And
Jeffrey Rush, he's a guy that you don't really think about, but he always shows up in stuff and is solid. And he's different. And you ever see Mystery Men?
Yeah,
Ben Stiller. He's Casanova Frankenstein in that. Like he's so different in everything he is. And to see him in this, you're just like, oh yeah, this is a strong bat in this lineup. Lithgow is obviously the headliner here, but you put him in, batting behind Lithgow, and Lithgow's now getting all the good pitches. It's a solid dude.
He was.
I thought Rush carried the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
And for those of you who
I was just saying,
it,
Lithgow was good in Dexter as well.
Oh
yes,
Trinity Killer, right?
If you watch this movie for the first time and you can't really understand Jeffrey Rush much in the beginning, it gets better because he has a stroke, but his voice gets better as it goes, as will happen as you start to heal.
The way he conveys the frustration and the despair.
Oof.
Again, that's why I wasn't laughing during this movie.
While still being an arrogant asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a schmuck. For sure.
Great job.
Chad, were you laughing when John Lithgow was kicking him under the table?
No. It was mainly just the licking, the first couple licking parts, and then the guy on fire, and then the no, I wasn't laughing at that. Just the licking parts,
just the demeaning parts.
No, the licking parts, and then the urine dump, because I was just like, what are we getting into here?
Am I the only one who grabbed his crotch when he was yanking on that guy's catheter?
Oh man.
Oh.
No laughter there.
That was good writing too, because that dude was a beast in his day. He was a professional rugby player.
Yeah.
And a Maori warrior.
And he had to just sit there and take it. Like, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor
so
dude.
I will end this with two things. I don't know if this will make my list or not, because it's not a movie I'm ever going to watch again. It was very well made. It was not fun at all. And two, if you're a fan of Harry and the Hendersons, this is an obvious home run for you. It's got the same family feel.
Yeah.
This has a chance of making my list because I feel like there's only a handful of movies that are really worthy of it. So it can push a lot of stuff that shouldn't be on down. And I'm really hoping that as we get closer to the summer, like Sinners is coming out in a couple of weeks, the vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. I'm hoping we get some really quality stuff that makes it like, oh, I could have mentioned Jenny Penn, but it didn't quite make the list. I hope it's like an honorable mention, but right now it's like
it's in the book.
Oh, it's on there for sure for me.
I could see this being like 10, 11, 12, 13, where I want to get it on the list because it's so well made.
Yeah.
But not something I want to be like, you need to go see this right away.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this with my mom. See how she reacts.
You know, I was trying to make sure my mom didn't come into the room while I was watching this. I was like, she doesn't need to see this.
No, have her watch The Taking of Deborah Logan with you.
Oh, jeez.
That's much more fun. So next week, I don't know. We have no idea. So, give us suggestions. We'll ignore all of them, and then Jack will tell us what to watch.
Pretty much what happens every week.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody who donated to the Save Jason's Dog Fund, his /
Big
birthday
night.
fund.
Big night. I mean,
thank you, everyone. Very generous. Truly appreciate it.
That was awesome. He doesn't deserve any of it, so you're amazing people.
Also true.
So until next week, everybody, stay spooky and have fun.
Bye.
Don't get old.
Don't. Gun in your mouth.